That's half of all I possess, Mark. A $2 million fee for an acquittal.
Would you put that in writing, Lloyd?
Yes, I will right now.
Now, Mr. Keller, if I remember at all correctly, you testified yesterday that you fired a shot from this gun.
I did.
And your purpose was to prove that the same gun fired the shot that killed Mr. Ward?
That is correct.
Thank you, Mr. Keller. Am I right in assuming that you released the safety catch before you fired the shot?
Naturally, otherwise I would still be standing in my laboratory pulling the trigger.
Mr. Keller, the burden of responsibility would rest on us all more easily if we could lighten it with humor. But at whose expense? Mr. Lloyd Ashley, the same man you're attempting to send to the electric chair with your glib, smug testimony?
I object, Your Honor. I ask the counsel's last remark be stricken, and the jury instructed to disregard it.
The objection is sustained, and the jury so instructed.
Humorously, or gravely, sir, in any mood that does not shy from objective truth, would you say that the safety catch on a gun of this type could not be accidentally joggled loose?
To the best of my knowledge, I would say so.
To the best of your knowledge. Well, that's a comfort to me. Mr. Keller, did you ever make any tests that might legitimately confirm your strong opinions in this matter?
I'm not exactly sure what you mean.
Specifically, Mr. Keller, did you ever load this gun, State's Exhibit B, which I'm holding in my hand, and then try dropping it on a hard, unyielding surface? What did you say?
Well, no.
Knowing what the basis of our defense would be, you didn't take the trouble to make such a simple test. Now, please answer the question, Mr. Keller.
No, I did not make such a test as you've described.
Why? Why did you not? Wouldn't it have seemed the obvious thing, or were you afraid you might confirm the defendant's story?
No, that wasn't it at all.
Then why? Tell me, Mr. Keller, or tell the court. Tell someone in the name of common sense why you didn't bother to make such a simple, obvious test.
I don't know. I suppose it just never occurred to me.
How reassuring, Mr. Keller. How very nice. A man is on trial for murder in the first degree. The one life granted him by his creator is in the hands of fallible men like you and me. And yet it never occurred to you that a simple test such as I have outlined might be the key to simple truth? Let the record show the witness did not answer the question. Yesterday, Mr. Keller, under direct examination by the district attorney, you testified that a gun of this type could not be discharged by slamming it on a hard surface, did you not?
With the safety catch on.
Of course, Mr. Keller.
Yes, I did make such a statement.
And this morning, roughly 18 hours later, have you had any reason to alter your opinion?
No.
I see. There now, Mr. Keller. As an expert, sir, would you examine the safety device on State's Exhibit B and tell the court if it's in the proper position to prevent firing?
It is.
Would you rise, Mr. Keller? Please. Stand right where you are in front of the witness chair. Now, Mr. Keller, I'm going to ask you to prove to the court and the jurors here assembled that the gun in question, with its safety catch applied, cannot be discharged accidentally. Just drop it, or if you prefer, sir, cast it forcibly to the floor.
Your Honor, I protest this cheap and highly irregular bit of vaudeville, which is inherently dangerous to everyone.
Say dangerous, Mr. Herrick.
Well, I meant... Well, I must ask that such an implication be disregarded. Irregular was the word that I intended to stress.
If that is the sole basis of your objection, Mr. Herrick, you are overruled. Proceed, Counselor.
Thank you, sir. If you please, Mr. Keller, demonstrate to the court and the jury that State's Exhibit B could not possibly have been fired in the manner claimed by the defendants. Just raise it above your head, Mr. Keller, and blithely let it drop to the floor. It's not a rocket to the moon, Mr. Keller. It won't make that much of a noise. We're waiting. Whenever it's convenient, Mr. Keller, you can just let go. Whenever it's convenient, Mr. Keller. We're beginning to age a little, all of us. That'll be all, Mr. Keller. Many thanks to you.
Oh, I've been looking forward to this all day.
Thank you so much for playing host. I'd probably have spilled it. Well, Lloyd, here's to the victory and all the good things friends can share. You tired?
Yeah, very tired. That's pretty silly of me to think I'd have a checkbook in my pocket. After all, they don't supply those in the city jail, do they? You got a blank one?
Well, at these prices, I'd be happy to crochet one for you. As a matter of fact, there must be one somewhere there in the desk. Try that center drawer.
Center drawer. I can't say, Mark, that I regret this bargain in any way. Incidentally, you may be entitled to more, but we won't know that until the accountant has a chance to check over the books.
One hand or no hands. This is a special occasion, calls for another drink. Could I, sweeten yours?
No, thanks. This will do me very well. Well, Mark, using your words, let's drink to those things that friends can share. My money, your whiskey. My wife.
What is this?
It's a gun. Probably the one you used for your experiment last night. It was just resting here in the top drawer all the time.
Lloyd, you'd better be careful with that thing.
Oh, I'm being careful. Extremely careful. I've made sure the safety catch is off. It's a bitter turn of events, isn't it, Mark? That now you have the one thing in the world you love most dearly, and you won't be able to spend it.
What on earth are you talking about? I never was very good at riddles.
You recall that private detective you urged me to hire 2 months ago, Malcolm Purdy? Same little fellow who reported Eve's quiet liaisons with Tom Maud to me?
Yes. Yes, I recall him. What about it?
Well, Mark, you're a man who enjoys a joke. This is very amusing. You see, in all this trouble, I never did take Mr. Purdy off the case. I just forgot to. And Mr. Purdy, being a conscientious man, he kept on watching Eve all the time I was in jail. 2 days ago, he turned in his final report.
Lloyd, if you want the check back.
I don't think I need to mention who Eve has been seeing all this time. And I don't think Eve was clever enough all by herself to think of using poor Tom for a decoy that has all the earmarks of one of your ideas.
Oh, come now.
You're just as responsible for Tom Ward's death as I am. And if I killed the wrong man because of your cleverness, Mark, why shouldn't I kill the right one now?
Lloyd, if you just listen to me.